In an earthquake magnitude 8 or larger, most of the connections between the east and west sides of Portland will be severed.
None of these are ready for the big earthquake.
None of the bridges in the immediate downtown area would be usable. This is a simulation of what Multnomah County engineers believe a major earthquake would do to the Burnside Bridge. First, it would collapse onto Nadeau Parkway and Waterfront Park. The intense shaking would break the bridge apart, sending entire sections crashing into the river. County officials are working now on a plan to create an earthquake-resistant crossing downtown, but for now, only the Tillicum Crossing and the new Selwood Bridge are expected to withstand the quake. Around the city, you can expect some roads to be impassable, cracked open, or covered in debris. Landslides are a big risk for hilly areas of town, while another phenomenon will likely increase the damage in other areas.
In Portland, we also are very, very concerned about liquefaction.
It happens when sandy soil with shallow groundwater shakes and starts to behave like a liquid. We saw it during the earthquake in Indonesia in 2018. Homes were swept away, others collapsed or even sank. Areas along the rivers are most at risk for liquefaction. And check out our extended coverage on KGWKeepingYouSafe.com and get a better idea of the damage expected in your neighborhood.
Your family may be spread out around town the moment the earthquake hits.
That's why it's so important that you have a plan on how you'll communicate and where you'll meet.
Step 1. Designate a meeting spot other than your home where you can stay if your home is damaged. And consider a secondary location in case some people can't get to the first meeting spot.
Step 2. Make sure everyone in your family has a written list of emergency contact numbers that they carry with them.
Step 3. Designate an out-of-town relative or friend everyone can check in with. Cell phone towers and landlines may be damaged, so it may be easier to get a call or text out to someone who lives outside of the area. That person should be the one to tell everyone whether it's safe to go home or whether you need to gather at an alternative meeting place.
Step 4. If you have children in school, know what their school's emergency plan entails.
And Step 5. Sign up all phones for emergency alerts to get updates from authorities following an earthquake. You can do that at publicalerts.org.
We know from around the world that most people are helped by those that live close to them rather than from public safety responders.
In addition to planning with your family, plan with your neighbors. Did you know every neighborhood in Portland has a secret stash of emergency supplies?
Okay, this is the Beacon Cache.
The program is called Beacon, or Basic Earthquake Emergency Communication Nodes. The chests are locked in 49 locations around the city within blocks of where each neighborhood meeting spot is on this map.
Lots of first aid gear. It's got lots of bandages.
And each neighborhood has emergency team leaders who have the keys to the caches and are trained to help.
The Neighborhood Emergency Team Program trains people like me, people like you, non-professional folks to respond during an emergency. So we are trained to do it safely. We can do basic light search and rescue.
They're also trained in radio communication.
We need to be able to communicate if our phones stop working and the computers stop working. So if I need help, I can go there and request help.
We have a link to find your neighborhood meeting spot in the Quake Ready story on KGWKeepingYouSafe.com.
We're actually at one of the community meeting places right now. This is the Fields Park in Northwest Portland. Most of the community meeting places will be public parks or green spaces or schools.
And the emergency caches are hidden nearby. The city is working on creating art displays that will go in place to better mark the meeting spots.
Still to come, we talk about it every time there's a smaller quake. But do you have your earthquake kit ready yet? We're going to take you step by step through the most important items and let you know how long you could be waiting for help after the big one.